Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, today, if you might be seeing this down the road sometime in the future, YouTube, hello as well. We are going to be looking at Demiplane, which is a group that put together a new resource for Cyberpunk Red players, especially those that use Roll20. And we're going to be tuning in to a open stage event that happened over at well, it hasn't happened yet. I'm also kind of talking also as well for YouTube, just because I am recording this for YouTube as well. But today, Rob Barefoot from Untitled Games is getting together with a team from Demiplane to talk about what the Cyberpunk Red Nexus is, how it works, and we'll also have questions about it. Of course, if you want to join, if you are here on Twitch tuning in right now and you want to actually join in on the action live, I put in the command !Artal, and it will send out this little link here to take you to their community Discord. And I'm not sure exactly if you can get in right away. I'm not sure what the exact restrictions they have for new entries, but that's why I'm kind of throwing it out right now in case you want to get in there. In case it's like, you gotta wait 10 minutes or something. But I won't be talking too terribly much during the event itself, just so that way I'm not talking over important things. I am just more here to help put eyes on what's happening, just so that way I can project the message out to all of you. And I'll be just keeping this as a recording as well in case you missed it. Of course, I'll have to talk to Rob Barefoot about getting his blessing on this, and I'm just kind of thinking I'll just talk about it, and we're just doing it live. Of course, using Carl Casey's music to help fill in the background just a little bit. I'm not sure if Artal will be recording this themselves. If they are, I won't be posting this recording. But if I get the blessing to, I will. So, other than that, I hope you all are having a wonderful day wherever you are. I know we're kind of going through it right now, but a little good news in these times is always welcome. So what is the Cyberpunk Red Nexus? We'll get into more discussion about it, but it's an online tool for people to use while playing Cyberpunk Red that gives you access to all your books, all your and keeps all your books and characters in one handy place. Actually, let me do something here. I have a very smart idea. What if I did this? So, no thanks. The Cyberpunk Red Nexus. It is a oh. Okay. I already have this. It's where I can keep all my game content in one location, and also something else that's come out is a character creator. Now, I'm not going to create a character ahead of all this. I'm going to let them do their thing with their demo. But you have a whole bunch of other games being presented as well. Whether it be Vampire the Masquerade, Starfighter 2nd Edition, Pathfinder 2nd Edition, Marvel Multiverse, Daggerheart, Cosmere. I also saw Avatar was another one in here as well. But with that out of the way, the way this works is there's a great reference item here for game rules. All your different roles are present, as well as quick reference. All 10 of them. And then for books right now, we've got Core Rulebook, Easy Mode, Edgerunner's Mission Kit, Black Chrome, Tales of the Red Hope Reborn, Black Chrome Plus, Hope Reborn Plus, Night City Weather, and Toggles Temple. A couple of the, like these latter four being free DLC that they've released that have been uploaded into the Nexus. There will be more to come, hopefully. It seems like they have been working very steadily at getting all of this out, and I have been patiently waiting for the character creator to come out before I decide to do a review of this, which I will do my own personal review after I've had some time to play around with the character creator. But overall, I'm very, very happy with this new addition to the Artal lineup. So here in about 20 minutes, we will tune in. If you want to skip to that, you're more than happy to. But I suppose in other news as well, coming from Artal Saurian Games, just as kind of a catch-up to what's happened in these past few months since the last time I really talked about anything big from Artal Saurian Games. We've had a few pretty sizable releases come out. So right out the gate, when we're talking about content, and I wonder if this might be one of the next new additions to the Nexus. We got the Night City Atlas. So the Night City Atlas is going to be it's kind of like an introductory sample to Edgerunner's Guide to Night City, or under its previous working name, Night City 2045. I don't have all the explicit details on that. That is something that, while I tend to try to be early on the scoop with a lot of things, I have very little info in regards to it. I'm hoping that maybe Emeron and I can get Jay or Rob or somebody on to have an interview about it. Probably a little bit closer to whenever they really give like a predicted window, but they never give themselves hard dates, which is totally okay. Give yourself all the time you need to make sure it is very good the first time around. Usually, Emeron and I, though, we have a real good idea of when things are supposed to release. Just because, like, Artal has had a very consistent release pattern. However, for January, we got the Night City Atlas, which shows us where a lot of current locations that have been presented in the book, from the core rule book all the way up to Hope Reborn Plus, and where they are in the city. Which I think that's super helpful. It gives you a real good idea of like how to plan out your adventures to where it makes sense. And then, of course, for December, we got the 12 Days of Redmas, which we got all sorts of exciting stuff, from changeable faceplates to an item known as the Cyberconductor, which allows you to jump between cyber decks for just a little damage. And even a really, really toasty knife. We've also gotten an updated night market index, which I love it. It's got tabs to allow you to cycle between different categories. Everything's just really well organized this time around instead of it just being a big list. The other previous things that we've had come out, oh gosh, man, last year was a blur when it came to DLC, just because a lot of them were great. There was one that was kind of a miss with me, and that's the Edgerunners portfolio. I know a lot of people like it. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not. What else did we have happen last year? My goodness. I might need to go to release announcements here to see what they've got for us. Well, also we got the free Shadowscar character creation rules. That came out at PAX Unplugged. For November, we had the Scream Sheet generator. I knew that came out at some point in the fall. I just couldn't remember if that was September or November. Scream Sheet generator is really good if you want to make yourselves some what's happening around the city postings for your people. Of course, October, we got Hope Reborn, which it's a, for anyone who might be wondering, Hope Reborn, it is a 6-mission campaign that talks about the rebuilding of the Forlorn Hope after a very tragic accident. October, we got Your New Best Friend, which introduces the Cyber Pets line from Biotechnica. You can get all sorts of things from a rat to a bear to a bunny to even a snake. The Nexus was actually announced like really, really early in October. Late September. Did somebody say Murder? That was the DLC for September, which gives you the investigation tools. And then August, we got No Place Like Home, where we did like a whole episode on that on Wireheads. So with that, and then just before that, we also got the Shadowscar starter set, which I hope Shadowscar gets some more love, like Witcher and Cyberpunk Red do. I really want to run that on Artel. Oh no, Noel, this is no secret. I have posted this one. Well, this is kind of a big deal for them because the Nexus features a lot of other big groups as well. All right. So, well, this is just, I guess to really emphasize, like, who all is on Demiplane. Let me go to how do I get to like, I guess something that I hope they talk about is like, how do I get back to like all my games? So about them, here we go. So just to kind of show you, yeah, you know, we got Vampire the Masquerade, Pathfinder, Daggerheart, which Daggerheart I'm really looking forward to digging into. Alien from Free League Publishing is present here, along with Mutant Year Zero, which, the reason I point this one out, Blade Runner runs on the same engine as Mutant Year Zero. Hunter the Reckoning is in here. I like how it always has 5th edition in Demiplane. Candela Obscura. We've got the Avatar Legends RPG as well. I have not had a chance to play that. I loved the Avatar and Korra TV series. It was like one of the few things that I could actually just like sit down and actually just watch and be able to enjoy the story of. Korra, a little bit harder to pick up. I understand that, you know, people have their criticisms of the Legend of Korra, but I thought it was a fantastic series. So yeah, like this is like, you know, Artal, little mom and pop group getting plopped in with big groups, very big groups. Okay. Then again, yeah, and you know, no, I will give them the pass on that because this is like their first edition, isn't it? Because I think it's oh, the name escapes me. I was just talking to them at Gen Con last year. Oh crap. Magpie. I knew it was a bird name. I just couldn't remember which bird. It's Magpie Games. They also have those really brilliant, like purple banners all about their plays. It caught my eye. They have a lot of really cool small games as well. Yeah, it looks like yeah, the core book is $50 for like what, the entire game? Ooh. And surprisingly, well, all the expansions are like $40, but they look pretty sizable as well. So, and the starter set is only $30. Okay. That's actually a really good cost of entry. A starter set only being $30. Wow, I that's good. That is good. Yeah, we have a pretty good roundabout of there's just this good bunching of stuff going on with Demiplane that I think this is going to be a big opportunity for our Talsorian games to grow. but they've done a very good job of keeping that mom and pop feel about them. All right, well, they just announced here in 15 minutes, well, technically 13, we'll be showcasing the new character creator and taking Q&A on the Nexus features. There'll also be announcements, including one around this month's DLC. Oh, we're getting a DLC announcement. Hell yeah. Which I think I have an idea. I have a couple of ideas rolling around in my head to what this. Just due to me being busy with a lot of other things, I haven't been able to stay on top of like proofreading or other stuff that I do. Because did you know that you could sign up to be a game tester and a proofreader for Untitled Games? You just need to go over to their Discord and you can go join them. I'm super excited. Well, there's a bunch of, I guess, you know what, Noel and Culture and whoever else is out there. I guess another one I'm thinking about is, what is April Fool's going to be? Because I was talking with Rob Barefoot here at Gen Con last year, and he was wondering how he was going to top off mixing drinks, changing lives last year. So I guess apparently April Fool's gets bounced around between different members. Like, I just, I don't know if it's gonna be like gag weapons, if it's going to be maybe something from William A's. Who knows what it could be? We're not quite there yet. April is still, a couple months out. Well, a month and a half away. So yeah, it's an exciting time. Oh my goodness. If James Hutt was to drop an ELO source book, that would be some stuff. But if you really think about it, all the stuff that James Hutt has released between like ELO expansion pack 1, Derek's guide to ELO, and also the TCG. What? Oh. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something else pop up. But I'm not sure. So we've got here just about 6 minutes till things start up. And I suppose for those of you guys who are on Twitch, that was a great time to maybe go get yourself some water, go grab a snack, go get yourselves, ready. And of course, just as a friendly reminder, if you are interested in joining the Discord, I've got a timer that's also posting this, but you can always use the command !RTAL to come join the Discord. And come join me, Emeron, and all sorts of awesome Cyberpunk Red creators, and an awesome community of Witcher, Shadowscar, Cyberpunk Red, Cyberpunk 2020, if you're part of that crowd, and also maybe you play one of their more obscure games, which, well, I wouldn't say Castle Falkenstein's obscure. I just haven't played it yet. But yeah, And what I'm going to do is I will go to, when we go over to the Discord, I will be kind of like settling down on my side. I might have some live reaction, but I also need to take a moment to go get my wife during all this. So that's going to happen. And we will definitely we'll be tuning in to, and I'll have the Artile Discord put up on a screen. It won't be put on the big screen. I'm going to have it adjusted to kind of keep names hidden. But you'll have all the important details that you need put up there. All right, let me go over to studio mode, and I'm going to make sure this is trimmed properly. All right. Try to fit as much. Oh, I can just fit the whole thing on my screen. Awesome. Muy bueno. Seems there's already others waiting. I see. I see many others waiting as well. I really cannot wait to jump in. So, with that, we've got 2 minutes till it is showtime. So, what I am going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get us over there, and I'll kind of show you what the stage is going to look like here. So the stage itself, it's kind of like a large VC room, and it will kind of get us wrapped up into the it'll get us in and going for the discussion, where we will be listening to what the people have to say. I may have to go AFK, so I will remove my model, so that way they aren't just staring into the abyss that is ahead of us, but that's neither here nor there. Oh boy, 1 minute till we're going in. Oh boy.
Hello, everyone. I'm the first one to arrive, obviously. We're waiting for Mellie. Thank you. All right. Yeah. Also, Jay Gray is going to be joining us here shortly, too. I think I see him. But yes. All right. So for any of y'all who don't know, and if you're in this Discord and don't know who I am, I really don't know what to say. And frankly, I think I should actually show a face along with this, shouldn't I? A rare camera appearance.
Oh my goodness. Rob Barefoot on camera.
This is one of the reasons why I adore... Oh, I know. I'm just stupid. Here we go. Now do that and do that. This should be good. There we go. Hey, guys. And, that was timing. Hey, Mellie. How are you?
All right. Here we go.
Let's make sure you can speak. Let me bring you down here.
Hello. I believe I can.
There we go. Perfect. And you already got it up. Awesome. So...
Yeah.
Down here. For one, I actually know this is apparently being streamed on multiple platforms, was not aware of that. We have a few folks who are basically shouting this out further. So we're on the spot, Mellie.
Whoa, that's exciting. All
So
right.
to get the formalities out of the way, we will be taking questions about the Red Nexus and the character creator in this event. Now, I'll be the one who's moderating that. I'll be the one keeping an eye on chat, and I'll be the one picking the questions. Make sure we keep them specific for the Nexus and Demiplane. I know a lot of you have questions about other VTTs, but there are other places for that. We want to make sure people who are new coming into the Nexus know what they're getting into. And so I did mention 2 announcements in this. Mellie, do we want to go ahead and tell them one of them that we did late last night? Quite literally.
I mean, I think that we can. I think that you can absolutely spill some beans there.
All right, so whenever we first launched the Cyberpunk Red Nexus, initially you could only access 5 roles, and those are the roles that you could get through playing with Cyberpunk Red Easy Mode. We all had to sit down last night and basically unanimously all, I'm gonna take the filter off, basically said, fuck it, let's do it. And we flipped the switch on the rest of the roles, so now you can make a character with every single role for free on the Red Nexus. So the character creator has access to Eve and Lawman now. Anything that you didn't have access to prior that you would normally have for character creation. We're not giving you everything for free. Hold on now. But we are making it so you can make a character at least with the selected roles. You would still have to purchase Black Chrome in the core rulebook to get all items and things like that, but you now have everything. Yeah, oh, hold on. I see something here.
We got Jay.
Jay, hello.
Hello.
Why is your camera better than mine on your phone?
I don't know. Just I guess it's a good product.
And I guess I'm jealous.
Got that
Absolutely.
really high level agent. It's a really good product there.
Or it could be that the sun is literally right in front of me.
Oh yeah,
I know
perfect
the pain
lighting.
of lighting. I have to admit, my lighting is my 2 upper monitors right now. I still don't have my other lights set up. I actually got to get doing it. But
Yeah.
so, yeah, natural lighting to a T, Brooke.
But yeah, it's super duper exciting that we got those 5 roles in. And then for people who are curious what that means, I think, for Netrunner and Nomad that have so many of the options are in the core rulebook, is Jay and Rob came up with a list of here are, these programs and these vehicles and these vehicle upgrades to say, hey, give these for free. Let people make these characters and play this way. And then if, you want to do different things than the taste testers we've got, then you can get the core rulebook and be unlimited and make all the wild and crazy things that you can.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you all see a reaction pop up on your questions, I'll let you know that I'm going to have y'all in a queue to be asked. So don't worry. If you see a little boop or something for me, that's me. But yeah, we have that now in full to go. Now, for this, Mellie, for all of y'all who weren't aware, yesterday I was over on the Demiplane Discord, and Mellie was showing this off. Quite literally, they went deeper than even we expected. So this is going to be a little bit more in depth than y'all expect, and you're going to see stuff that people have asked for that is already functioning and working in the character creator. I decided this was the best way to do it in the end, showing it off. But what I'll do now is I will shut up, and I'll save the second announcement towards the end of this. We'll at least get the fun going. I don't want to keep Mellie all day, because I can yap forever.
It's true. You can stay here all day. We're gonna go make a character. So if y'all haven't been here yet, cyberpunkrednexus.com is where you're gonna go. You're gonna get to this wonderful page. You can even just jump into a pre-gen right at the bottom if you want. But you can just go to characters here and get started with creating a character, which is what we're gonna do here today. And Rob, Jay, stop me anytime you want. But as you get in here, we've got our builder experience. You've got some information about Night City, about Cyberpunk. So if you've never played the game before, which I think everybody here probably has, you could still learn about it directly in the builder. You can even we've got tooltips, which you can hover over to learn more about things, which is really helpful for street slang for new folks coming in. And then in the center here, you can jump into a pre-gen character, which we've got the easy mode and Edge Runner's mission kit pre-gens. So you can hop into any of those with just a click of a button. Or you can create your own, which I think is what we're going to do, is we're going to go through the character creation process. So, Rob, what should we name this character we're going to build today?
One of my favorite words, redact. I love
Redact, I
calling
like
that at
that.
folks. Like, I already used it once today when people are asking what the new DLC is.
Yes, absolutely. I like to do that too, where it's just like, yeah, it's gonna be really great when Redacted happens in 3 months. Can't tell you any more than that, but that's what I got. And of course, you can pick your different build methods, so Street Rat, Edge Runner, and Complete Package, which will guide you through the process. It's been great with Street Rat. I can now, on my own, when I'm not showing people how to use the tool set, I can get through a Street Rat character in under 5 minutes, which is pretty fun. I kind of like just kind of going through and clicking everything. But when you go in here, if I wanted to change this, for example, you can see that it describes what the differences are, so you'll be able to know exactly what you're getting into. But we can go ahead and select that method and then grab a cool picture. Let's go, let's say the mysterious one for Redact, the kind of darker, mysterious one. And then we also have down here, if you have the Edgerunner's mission kit on Demiplane, you can turn this toggle on, which will then give you the rule additions and tweaks that you have in Edgerunners. So that would give you things like your neuroport at character creation will cost 0 and not take away humanity. It's going to give you role tweaks, and we also just added today the ability to utilize the rule for when you take a melee attack or a charged tech attack. You can now have your stopping power of your armor when you calculate damage. So if you have Edgerunners, you can turn that on, and you'll get all of those settings turned on in your sheet and builder. But we're gonna leave that off for now. We're gonna go, OG Cyberpunk Red, and we're gonna look at our roles, which is the next step. As you can see on the left here, we've got, you get this filled-in box that shows that there's no choices to be made in that section. And if there's a number, it means we have a choice to be made. So we know that if we're here, we got one choice. And you can click through and jump around. You don't have to go in one order, but we have the order from the game in here. So this is the order that you usually go through character creation. What role do we want to go with today for Redact?
Don't make me pick this one, Jay. You're up.
Nomad. Let's make him a nomad. It's a new. Let's go with the roles people haven't had a chance to play with yet.
Yeah,
Yes,
because this is
when
one of the new ones, the new free
Yeah.
ones that we got popped in.
Exactly.
Rocker Boy, no, Meredith, no.
No, Rocker Boys for Meredith. Sorry. You'll have to make that over on the Demiplane Discord, Meredith. You can see that when you
tease her too much because she can access this right now. Any person from Demiplane can hop on stage, so we better not pick her too much. She may come in and yell at us.
So you'll see you can get all the information for the role, so you'll get to read through it. So when you're making your decision, you can read through all of these options. And again, tooltips throughout. So if you're not sure what something means, you can hover, and you can even click on them and open them in the sidebar to get a more stable reading view there. Well, let's go with our Nomad, which is then going to load in all of the rest of our things. We picked Street Rat, so this is going to load in. We've got our role ability and our life path in this section. We're going to have, one choice here for stats and skills with Street Rat mode, and then we have some equipment choices.
Oh, that's
so
super
first off,
I love it.
When you have your role ability, some of them you will make choices in the builder. Some of them will all be directly on the sheet. But the Nomad means that you get to do vehicle stuff, which is really cool. So we get to add some vehicles, and I get to show off some of this interaction here, which is really fun, which is you get to pick your vehicle. So, for example, maybe I always go for the helicopter. I don't know why, but I do. So I can go for the helicopter. And then because I still have 3 points, I could go for another vehicle, or I could click on helicopter up here. And now I can choose upgrades for that helicopter. And you can flip between these really easily. And so maybe I decide let's get a Nomad access to something. We could do the Patroller maybe? What are we thinking? Or maybe the Americar Family Star Van?
A van is good. Now, it's worth noting here that if you're just playing with the free version, and you're playing the Nomad, you will get a choice between a ground bike, a road bike, and a ground car. You won't have access to everything, but you'll have access to the 2 most common starting options for Nomads.
Yes, who doesn't want a road bike? It is one of the best things you can get.
And you'll get NOS, additional seating, and a smuggling compartment.
And smuggling,
for your
So
for your,
you'll
No,
have-
if we did
bonuses.
combat plow or not. So I'm glad we checked that. I was like, I don't know if we did combat plow. I
Can't put a
remember.
combat
we
ball on a
ended up,
bike,
yeah.
Rob.
You watch
Yeah.
me. I will make it work.
So
It's gonna
you will
bite when I hit
have,
something.
Not without a tech
and what
upgrade.
you'll see here, if you don't have those options, is you'll see a little unlock thing, and when you click that, it's not like it'll make immediately take your money. It'll open that up and it'll tell you what book that's in, and it'll say, hey, do you want to get this book? And if you do, you can just purchase it right in the builder, and then immediately all of those options will open up for you. But if I didn't have that, I'd have road bike here, and I could add NOS, I could add the seating upgrade or the smuggling upgrade, so you can still make your full nomad. And then as you want to try new things, you can look at some of the other books that we've got available.
So I have a hard
So-
question for you. How many man hours do you think it took to make the core rulebook and this character builder?
All right, well, core rulebook, my team, so we do the digital conversion of the book itself. For the initial Nexus launch, which was early access and no character tools, I think we clocked in on that one somewhere around between 80 and 100. That's just the book. And then we've got the Nexus itself, which was around the same probably for the full Nexus styling and all of that. And then the character tools would probably be both of those combined, and then some. So it was a lot of work, but it's one of those things that as it's a passion for everybody on the team. And so sometimes it's like, man, this is so much, but we're having such a blast doing it.
So the reason I'm asking is because a lot of people have asked, for example, if I have X, do I get this for free? And I understand the frustration in I bought the physical copy and I bought the PDF and I bought it at a Roll20 and I don't want to buy it again. I totally get that. That's a valid feeling. But I do want to point out that this took work. This is not, it didn't pop out of the ether. There were people who worked on this for many, many, many hours, and they still it has to be maintained, and the server has to be paid for, and bugs need to be fixed, and there needs to be, the people that work on these things need to eat, and they need to be compensated fairly for the work. And that is why it may not necessarily be free, even though you own X, because this is a new way to do it. It's the difference between buying a physical copy and buying an interactive, copy of something. You don't expect the DVD free because you owned it on VHS 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So I just want to say, I get that, and we are looking at ways to make the cost more bearable for people who have multiple versions of it on different platforms. But please keep in mind that when we say there's a cost on this, it's not because we're greedy. It's because we believe that people deserve to be paid for their work.
Basically,
and one of
Demiplane
the
is
things
its
that
own
we've
separate
done for that cost actually is our ultimate bundle, which what that's going to be is it's going to get you all of the books that are pay to access on Demiplane, and that's going to get you 25% off. So right now I think that's somewhere around $85, I think, and that gets you all of those books, and then 25% on all future books that we release on Demiplane Nexus for Cyberpunk. So
nice.
That's going to kind of get you at that lower entry point, and hopefully that's a great time. It's a great time to jump in on that. But yeah, our team, we love to have food on the table as much as we also love to work on these games. So it's really great that we get to do both. Life Path was something that we knew was super duper important for the game, because this is such a core part of the experience, and it's also such a great way to get into Night City and Cyberpunk and your campaign, especially if you've never played before, because it's really going to establish your character in the world, give your GM things to work with. And this was such a challenge for us. We didn't have any game systems that used, table rolling and this kind of procedural generation of a character. So this was a new thing that we worked on for y'all's game. But we're pretty happy with how it turned out. So when you go through your life path, you'll of course have all the different sections here, and it'll guide you through and give you information for each of those choices. And then you have the option of typing things in if you want to just type in your own choices. You can click this button to roll a d10, which will then put in the random result from a table. Or you can click show table, and then you can just take your pick on this table of what you want. So I might decide, oh, you know what, I want to make like a French Canadian, so I'm going to go with North America. And then you'll choose one, so you'll go down on these languages, down to French. And there we go. And I can click confirm. And now that I've confirmed both of these, they're locked in. So even if I accidentally hit this D10 button, it will not go and replace those choices that I've confirmed in there. You could go ahead and, again, remove it and type in something else. But once you confirm it, we try to make sure that, like, it's not going to accidentally change on you as you set up your background. But you can go through this entire process just, hey, roll, click, open up a table, decide on something. You can even, on these ones that have 2 columns, you can confirm 1 column and then roll again, and it will only roll on the one that you haven't confirmed yet. And if you forget to press the confirm button, when you get to the very end of the process, it will say, hey, don't forget, and then you can just confirm all choices with 1 button. And you'll also see, of course, that the count of how many choices you have left in each section will go up, or well, the count will go of how many you have left will go down. The count of how many are completed will go up, and you'll be able to go ahead and, oh look, I'm at 8 out of 10 now. So you kind of know how much more you have left to go as you develop your character through this path. This is one of those things as well as we go into, I believe it's in background. Is that where you get your friends and your, yeah, it is.
Okay.
So we also have, of course, when you do your friends, enemies, tragic love affairs, those ones you're going to roll a d10 and subtract from it. So that's going to happen here, and we'll see. I got no friends. Oh no, I'm so sad. Poor Redact.
I was about to say, are you going to roll 3 again, a piece of each?
I was wondering if I was going to get 3 enemies again, like we did yesterday, but I got no enemies. I got nothing. So you know what? I might re-roll. Which one should we re-roll? Friends, enemies, or tragic love affairs?
Enemies is fun. Enemies is fun. For y'all who don't know, like I've been demoed this a couple times. Mellie has always had exploding dice, always rolled the max friends, and I'm finally seeing luck run out. I love it.
Yeah, my luck is gone. Oh, here we go. Look, there we go. I got a 10 that time. So now we have max enemies. So what you're going to see is when you roll this, it's actually going to fill in all of these with the same result, but it lets you go ahead and kind of go through and say, okay, yeah, I think an X lever for one of my enemies, that sounds good. But maybe I don't want to use these other options for that. But I do like this second, what caused it. So I'm going to save that one and then re-roll. And again, until you hit confirm, those aren't locked in. And the ones you have confirmed, those are going to go ahead and stay in place for you. So you're not going to have to worry about losing those. But it can be pretty, it's kind of a fun way to come up with things, and you end up with surprises and start to develop the idea of your character. So I really love this system that y'all have. It's like really fun to come up with a character this way. And then, you just fill in your names.
Whenever we were even, like, the live path system itself, of course, it comes like from way back in our other editions, and even back during 2020, it was used to actually show you what you got, what some stats were, what did that. And when it came to what we're doing in Red, it's a lot more made to just pull you and put your character in the world and be properly grounded in it. So that way you feel like you're playing a character that's in Night City and actually has already lived time. Because whenever you start at rank 4, the intent is you're already an experienced edge runner. You've already been through the paces. So having a little bit of history and fleshing it out like that, always good. But as I always will say, never take everything as an absolute. Everything is bendable, and if you don't like something, pick what you want. Break some rules. I'm not joking. I like breaking rules. Yeah, continue. 100%. Sorry.
No, and you can even break rules directly in the sheet. So, again, if you talk with your GM, obviously, that's very important. You can absolutely, we try not to limit you too much of things that you could do on paper. We want you to be able to do. And obviously, there is a limit to that because a system that automates things needs a few limits there to make sure things don't break. But anytime you're in the builder, if you see this cogwheel icon, that means that you can adjust some of the rules. And you'll see a similar thing in the sheet. You'll see cogwheels to adjust the sheet itself, and you'll see inside of different items, weapons, cyberware, you'll see a 3-dot menu, and that means that you can edit statistics on that thing and customize it. But for example, I could turn off the limits here and boost my skills more, give myself some more skill points. If you're in complete mode, you can add additional stat points in this section. And when you're in equipment, you can, remove the limits, and it will let you go into as far negative into your money as you want. And you're just probably going to start really, really in debt if you do that. So good luck.
People trying to start with FBCs here.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead. We just rolled. Again, I could roll as many times as I want to on this until, this is going to be one of these 10 results. And then
I hear there's a cheat code that if you enter it, it will give you unlimited funds. And I can tell you what it is, Tom.
Is it Motherload?
Oh, that. You got
Oh,
the
boy.
Sims joke. I'm so happy.
I thought it was Rosebud.
Depends on what edition you're on.
Yes.
Sims 1, come on.
But of course, there is kind of a cheat code in Cyberpunk, though, because they're selling out.
There is selling out, yes.
Yeah.
Are you
And I
saying
think
that the Demi playing Cyberpunk Red Character Nexus has the selling out option in it?
sadly not yet. I mean, especially because your whole group
Oh.
needs to sell out. So that'll be something we look
True.
at as we get group connectivity. But of course, you can go in here, you can ignore limits, you can add additional starting cash. So you can make that work at your table, but it's not automatic quite yet.
That's okay.
But
It still works.
But it is, and there's so many things that we're going to continue to add and iterate on. We already, I mean, like we said, we've already added some stuff just in the past day because people here in this Discord requested it. We were like, all right, let's see if we can do that today. And I got a shout out, Dom and David, two of our devs, who I just saw tickets flying around our board this morning as they were trying to get as much in today as they could and just say, boom, day one, all right, we're gonna go have a weekend now, bye, which is really fun.
Y'all, I've seen so many times people are just outright surprised how quick y'all just throw stuff in. Like, you see the request, like, all right, fine, or you fix something in 10 minutes. It's gotten attention from our community. They love you for it. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. They absolutely love you for it.
It's one of those things that it's like, if we can do this thing quickly, to me, that makes somebody feel like they've been heard and seen. And I mean, for me, like, your game matters. So if you say like, man, this is perfect except for this one thing that makes it so that I can't play my character. Those are things that like we all pay attention to. And some things are more complicated and they're going to take more time. But if it's something that I can just, we can fix pretty quickly or we can add pretty quickly, it's like, all right, let's make this person's game and guarantee you there's 10 other people who are going to be like, oh, I'm so glad this feature's in here. Now I can play my character exactly the way I want, which is really nice. We picked Street Rat, so our Nomad's going to have some choices in here. So we can go with, what do we think? Should Redact have heavy or very heavy pistol?
I'm actually always a fan of just a normal heavy pistol.
Yeah.
VHPs are awesome, but with a normal heavy pistol, I can crit fish. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be honest with you. I want to crit fish sometimes.
But now, should we dual wield pistols or should we also get a melee weapon?
You can get a melee weapon. You need something for every occasion. A well-dressed nomad is prepared for anything.
I'm just imagining like a baseball bat that has like the word redact drawn on it in like black marker.
I was just thinking, like, for every occasion, have a baseball bat.
Very important. So of course you'll see we had choices there, but also, I mean, if you click in here, you'll see all the things that you're just being granted. So you got all your nomad leathers, all of that is just automatically added. And then of course we've got a choice of cyberware, interface plugs, or wolvers. I always go with wolvers because it's cool. I love having punchy claws. But
that's the answer. Is it cool? That's the only thing that should matter. It's not about the stats. Is it cool?
Perfect. And then I'm going with
The
it.
hell
Boom.
before substance,
So
baby.
you can see now we've got, obviously we skipped some life pass stuff just so we can show you the sheet as well, but those are all selected there. And I still have some money, so I could spend some more if I wanted to. And one thing that you'll see is if we go and add some cyberware, of course, cyberware is going to reduce your humanity. Take a look at the humanity in the top right. Let's go with the... Get a cyber leg. And you'll see that humanity is going to go ahead and reduce for us. And then I can go to my cyber leg, which has slots. I can choose, in defaults to right leg, I can swap it to the left leg with just a click. And then I could, I can afford a couple things here. I can get a plastic covering or just a standard foot. Let's maybe just get a standard foot for now. We can, when we can make some more money, we can get something else. And there we go. You also have your improvement in the builder. You can also do this on the sheet. So if you prefer to pop back into the builder to do these and you can kind of see everything at once, you can do it in here. And then I'll show you later how you can do it on the sheet. But if you're a GM, maybe you're joining a campaign later on, so the GM gives you some points to catch up with everybody else. So maybe they give you 700 points. You can add that directly in here, and then you can pop in and you can spend those on various things. You can add new sub-skills for our skills that have sub-skills. And you can, of course, improve roll abilities, which might be your own roll ability, or it could be adding a different roll. So that's all supported there in the builder. Are we ready to go to the sheet?
Go
You're
to
good
the
to
sheet. Go
I'm
to
just
the
right now
sheet.
trying to mitigate folks. Remember, if y'all have questions, just ask them as normal. And if I see them and I do want to, touch on them, you will see me react to them. But please avoid pinging Demiplane staff or us during this. All right, we'll get
Yes.
to you. There's a lot of folks in here.
Excellent. All right. So here's our sheet, which I gotta give shout outs to John Williams, our designer, and to Gideon Vale, who was our styler on this, like turning that design into code. And they both just did an absolutely outstanding job. Every time I came in and there was something new that had been finished on the builder, I was like, ooh, it's I'm very happy with it, and I hope you all like it too.
That looks fantastic.
Yeah.
My phone fell.
Oh no, I thought you were just so excited. You were like, oh my god.
I was so excited.
Beautiful.
No, my car shook because a car went by and my phone fell off the steering wheel.
Oh my gosh. It
So
was
I think
it was
you-
Nomad. It was Redact.
I think we need to shoot Redact and see how Redact takes damage.
Yeah, we can absolutely do that. So let's go ahead. Well, maybe I'll put my armor on first. Let's go to my inventory. I
Yes.
started with some armor. Okay, now I'm ready to be shot. Let's go to calculate damage. I can pick which location I got shot in. So let's say the body. And I can type in how much damage am I taking, Jay?
Rob, I don't have dice.
You don't have
I don't
dice?
have dice. Hit him with an assault rifle.
I am fueled by
mean-
coffee right now. Let's
Yeah.
see. Let's see here. Assault rifle. Wait, 5d6.
5d6.
Correct. Yep. So 5d6. You of course give me when I don't have all my dice out. I was playing a different game earlier. Do this the easy way.
I mean, I could also, because you can just pull a dice pool together on the fly. So I could just be like 5d6s.
You could.
Jay's just wanting to put me
I
on the
could roll
spot.
it
All right, total
like
20
that.
damage.
Well, I mean, if you want to show off the game, you want to show off the software. Show off the software.
So there we go. I just did. I gathered 5d6 just here in the side, rolled them. I did get 15 instead of 20. So Jay, as our GM here, should I take the higher or lower damage?
I'm gonna say I'll be merciful. You take the lower damage because the random number generator was nicer on Demiplane than it was on
Excellent.
Rob's desk.
So once you put in your damage, it's gonna remind you what your stopping power
But-
is on your.
But I'm gonna
on your
pretend
head.
that 2 of those were 6s, and now he's got a critical injury.
Oh, yep, perfect. All right. So I've got damage that's going to apply to my HP because that goes above my stopping power, and the armor is going to be ablated. I click confirm, and it's going to go ahead and put that in for me. And again, if you've got the Edge Runners toggle on, you'll also have the ability to grab. Well, actually, I can show it over here in the blog. You can see that you can mark if it is a melee weapon or a charged tech weapon, and it will have your SP rounded up in there automatically. But let's go ahead. We got a critical injury. That was
Yep.
to our body. So you got your
Yeah.
critical injury drawer here. And we can go to body. We can roll 2d6s. And that's going to go ahead and highlight whatever it is that you rolled. And then you confirm it by clicking select. You can also open it up and read what it is. But I can go ahead and select this. And then you'll also see at the top here your active critical injuries. It's also summarized here in this panel on the main screen. And you can see what would be needed for a quick fix or a treatment for this as well. And if there were any effects that automatically happen for your character, like it's gonna, -5 to something or a -2 to your movement, that will automatically be put in place as long as you have that injury as well.
And that's also
Just
true
perfect.
for if you are severely or mortally wounded. Those penalties also automatically certifying.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
I can actually go ahead and I can drop myself down, and that should then put in, because that's correct, right? That's gonna be my
What was the starting HP? I didn't see.
45.
45. So yeah, if you're under 23, I think you're good.
Yeah, so that should end up putting in any of the negatives will end up being applied for this character now that I am
Nice.
wounded. And you'll also see that there will also be, of course, you can get some cyberware that kicks in when you are, mortally or severely wounded. And those pieces of cyberware will, automatically either like add a note to a drawer when that happens or add their bonuses when that happens. So you'll see that come up when you hit that state as well. But everything on here is clickable. So you'll see this top section. Like if I want to learn more about, reflexes, I can click on there. It will show me where I got those statistics from. You can also edit it. If I get a temporary bonus, maybe, I could add one here, and then that will go ahead and update that. It will also update anything tied to that statistic. So if I updated body, it'll update my hit points. And you can also see that it says this is from override, so we know exactly where that number's coming from. You're never going to be like, why do I suddenly have more than I thought I had? It'll tell you, so you'll have that information. And similarly in humanity, you'll see exactly how your cyberware is impacting your maximum and current humanity so that you can keep track of where all those things came from, which is just super handy. Also in the top section, let's see, we've got our armors up here, so you can ablate them manually, and your improvement points are also up here. Rob was great the other day and was like, oh, I thought this was just a cool ID space on the sheet. And then I clicked on it, and it was the improvement
Yeah, that caught me off
points.
guard. I was like, wait, what? That's not static? So yeah, to say, because I just said it over in the chat too, a reason why I'm not doing the questions yet or even really interjecting with them is because I know already the things are in the sheet, and y'all will get to see them as Mellie continues the demonstration. IP being one of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump ahead because I'm that way. It's the end of the month and rent is due.
Oh yeah.
Where do I find out how much I owe rent and lifestyle
Well, in
costs?
your so in this bottom section, you've got multiple tabs here. One of them is inventory, which you're going to have your current cash here, which you can
turn off
again
my
open
camera.
and adjust that. And you have your monthly costs. So this is going to show you your lifestyle costs. You can also change your lifestyle in here. Your housing costs, which you can also change in here. And you can also put additional costs if there's anything extra. And then you can click here to pay your monthly costs. You can see I've got not enough money, so I might have to move out of my cargo container and live on the street in my nomad vehicle here. Now I can afford it, and I can press pay, and you can see that that automatically took away the costs here for my current cash. So I managed to make it another month.
Mm-hmm. So hey, it's not about saving the world, it's about paying rent, as Mike always says.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got that in there, and so all these tabs, you can go into any of them, and you've got your skills here. So this will show you everything. You can also click hide level 0, which will then just show you the skills that you've taken some points in. And you can also group them either alphabetically or by their skill group. And you can also search. So, if somebody was like, hey, roll me some shoulder arms, I can just quickly find that. I don't have to go scrolling. You can just type it right in there.
Now, I want to interject here and say I'm very, very happy the way y'all set that up. So there is the quite literal, like, if it's a 0, flip it off. Because a lot of folks, whenever we released the Edge Runners Folio, which was our, expanded character sheet, people were like, why are the skills are not on this? Why are they only right in? Well, it's because there's a lot of skills in Cyberpunk Red, and for newer players, at a glance, they're really just going to want to know what they need to roll. So we just made it so people can write down what they need rather than have everything there on hand. And with this, you get the best of both worlds. You can have them all present if you want to. You can turn them off. You can just straight search. I didn't know we could search yesterday, by the way, Mellie. That's cool. I didn't know that was a feature.
You'll also be able to search in some of these other sections. So if we go to actions,
that's gonna save me a headache.
You can search in actions, so it can just be like, right, human shield, boop, and that'll pull that up for me. So yeah, we always try to make it as easy as possible to find the thing that you're looking for.
Yep.
But if we go to actions here, you'll see, boom, we've got all of the different things we've added to this character. And we have the basic actions, combat actions, healing actions, and then of course face down here. If you had any equipment or cyberware that granted you other actions, like, maybe you have a bomb that you can plant and that's going to take, some time, and we want to have a space where you can do some toggles. Actually, I'm going to add a berserk chip because that's a fun one for seeing how some of that stuff works. So first I need to get a slot for that. Do I need a whole, yeah, there we go. Install. And if I wanted to pay with cash, actually I should show this off. So if I want to pay with cash on any of this, I can go ahead and click buy with cash. And you can see I actually technically can't afford the chipware socket, so maybe I should go for the budget chipware socket. I can roll.
I was going to interject here because I see that Diamond noticed it too. Are we doing 2077 or red? Because Berserk implant is a 2077 implant. Is it going to be active for full sheets or no?
So it is available if you've got edge runners, but then of course all of the rule adjustments that tie into that, like with the Neuralware, all that stuff is going to be in just the edge runners rule set. But all of the items and such, if your GM allows you to add them, we're not going to stop you from adding them if you've got access to them on your sheet and your account.
So this morning I went into Demiplane. I went into this character builder and I sat down and I rolled I rolled human perception 37 times to see what happens when you roll a 1 or roll a 10. And I am happy to say that when you roll a 10, it does automatically explode. Roll a second 10 and add it in. And when you roll a 1, it adds the 1, then automatically explodes and removes the the value of the second D10. So
Yeah.
that is built in, and it does it right.
Jay,
What?
it took you 37 times to roll a 10?
And a 1.
Okay.
And a 1. You went for both. Yesterday, Rob asked the same question in the Demiplane walkthrough, and I was like, yeah, okay. And I was like, how many times am I going to have to click this? And I was just like, okay, let's try. And then my first click, I got the 10, and I was like, hey, look, it works. It was very great. But look, I've got my Berserk implant here. So I can go ahead, if I activate that, you'll now see I can count the rounds. And also because that's activated, because this also has an impact on like your wound states, if you open up your hit points drawer, you'll see a note here that will remind you when you go in here, you'll be able to see that information. And if I didn't have that activated, you would see up here that that note does not exist. So we have things like these toggles that give you temporary effects. So you'll be able to turn things on and off. Some things are a little more complicated than others, so you'll turn something on and it'll add 3 different things to your sheet. So it's kind of fun to just see what kind of combinations you can find. But one of my favorite combinations is just ammo and guns, because we developed a system which we don't have in any of our other games yet, to go ahead and actually track your ammunition. So you can see the heavy pistol here, which I can click here. I could reload that. I'm actually going to add some other ammunition to my sheet though before we do that. So let's go to ammunition. I can get some small game ammunition. We've got the heavy pistol, so let's grab that. And so anything you have here, if you were to add it, it will then give you the ability to choose the type. And it will limit it, so if there's something that is only available for, certain things like grenades and arrows, you wouldn't be able to choose that as a heavy pistol ammunition. But then if I go here, and now you can see I have all 3 of these options, and I can choose which one I want to use. It's going to load that in there, and then when I attack with it, you'll also see that that ammo is going to go ahead and decrease. And then I can go ahead and, do my reload action, and I can refill it, or switch the magazine to something else. And of course, I didn't have enough rubber pistol ammunition for this to fully refill, so it only refilled it to as much as it had. And you can also switch this to do aimed instead of single shot. And if you've got some other effects, there may also be similar like toggles or counters, other things will appear on your weapon that lets you kind of have some other adjustments and effects there.
Now, this is something I'd like to have shown because it was asked about earlier when it comes to how much you can tweak items.
Yeah.
How crazy could you make that heavy melee? Have that heavy pistol. Plus, we also had a question about melee as well. We can get to that in a second. But show them what they can really do with weapons and items, so they have an idea of the extent of modification. It's not just click and add thing. Not just click and add thing at all.
Yeah, you can definitely adjust the things that you're adding to the sheet. So this heavy pistol, for example, obviously you can do attachments because that's super important. So you can add those. If you also, like I said earlier, look for the 3-dot menu. So you're going to see 3 dots up here. If you click that, you can go to edit. And that's going to let you make some adjustments. So I can say, actually, I get 2 more max attachments. It's excellent quality. I get a +3 to my attack roll. I add 10 damage dice.
Your GM is very generous.
Oh
Jesus
yeah, I
Christ.
have a big magazine, and I could, if I wanted to, I could change the, the ammo type. I can change the attack skill. I attack actually with interrogation. Why not?
This does not
so I
mean
can put all that on.
APCs are confirmed.
And I could also set the name, the redact, and there you go. You got all those adjustments in there. I got all of that. The magazine is changed, and I could go ahead, of course, and add attachments too. So then it would give me even more things. Like if I get the smart rebuild, I could then add smart ammunition, which will work with this now. Smart ammunition. Still a heavy pistol. That there. And then I can go ahead and I can put the improved smart ammunition in there as well. So all of these attachments as well will give you different effects. And so you can really customize. You can kind of do, like you can go through Toggle's Temple, because we do have that on Demiplane. And if you go to Toggle's Temple and start to add attachments and add different things, you could kind of construct your own weapon through that process. Yeah, and it's very similar on a melee weapon, where you've got similar things of adjust these pieces of your weapon and make that your own.
When we had meetings about this, they said, well, we said, what about DLCs? And they said, we'd like to do DLCs, but you got a lot of them. There's something wrong with you. You keep putting them out. And I said, well, and they said, fine. They said, fine. Okay, fine. Stop asking. Just give us a list of like the top 5 DLCs that you want to see included. And Toggle's Temple and Night City Weather were at the very top of the list. But be aware that yes, other gear ones like the 12 days were close to the top of the list too. So not saying when, because it's not my job to say when, but that is, they are very aware that you want all the toys. They know it.
Yes. Yeah, we want to get all the toys into. It's just a matter of time. So my team's the one, we actually enter all the books. We convert them, from the files that the wonderful folks at Artal work on, and then we convert those into the files that we work on in our system, and we go manually through it. And all of our books are, there are pieces of automation like turning a PDF or InDesign experience into the code that we work in, but the actual code that we work in and all of that, that's done by humans. That's done by my team of incredible team members. Sam's actually one of them in the chat right now. Everybody say thank you to Sam, who is actually working, I think right now, last I checked, Sam is working on the next titles we're releasing for Cyberpunk Red. So thank you, Sam.
I don't want to get us too, by the way, thank you, Sam. I didn't hear that coming up. I don't want to take us too off point, because I do want to go into Melee, but I at least want to say on the DLC front, I've already seen it asked multiple times, the interface volumes. We know you all want them. We know you want your bioexotic packages and your FBCs, but remember, that's pretty much in-game, for lack of a better term. A lot of it's in-game, a lot of it's complex. This was made in the intent of being accessible to as many people as possible right out the gate. We're still in early access of this, so all this stuff is still being built. So when it comes time for the interfaces to be released, they will. We do have a list of DLCs we want to get through first, and of course the main books take priority. Now, it's kind of clear to see which main books are still on the way. I already know you are all curious about when we're going to get Danger God Dossier, but I'm going to say it now. Demiplane is following the same rules we do when it comes to release time. Is it ready? It's not coming out yet. Is it ready? Cool, it's coming out. Is it not? It's not coming out yet. That's the answers we'll give. We will not tease something until it's ready to go. So 100%. We love you. We love the enthusiasm, but I will get the redacted. All right? Give us some time. We're getting there.
Yeah. And I'll also say, we have sort of our top priorities based on, hey, what are the most popular and most in-demand things? But outside of those, as we start to get to the end of those, we're really going to be looking at, what are the things that y'all who are using the tool set are really asking for. So definitely don't hesitate to let us know, hey, I can't wait until you do XYZ thing. I keep an eye on those things, and I'm the one that gets to kind of construct what our roadmap looks like. So I will keep an eye on that, and, maybe I accept bribes. I cannot confirm nor deny. I also really quickly want to call out in chat, because I did call out Sam. I need to also call out Joseph, who is Krobe in chat, who is the amazing maestro who takes those InDesign files and turns them into code for us, and also creates, hand writes various scripts that let us then go through that code and find things like items that we can more easily create them in our system. So pulling out as much data as we can to then fill in the scripts that we use for all of the things that are working in the sheet. So also big call out. And another thing that Joseph put together is our PDF export. So you can all thank Joseph.
I was about to say, we've had that asked about. Yep, that's already one of the things asked about. And I'm like, yep, we'll wait on that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's thanks to Joseph who puts these together. There's other updates we want to still make to this, but this is our initial at launch, and then we're always happy to hear feedback. But you've got even like your cyberware that you can do here. So it's pretty familiar look and feel here. This is all form fillable, so you can adjust this as you like. You can take it with you. So that's really helpful as well. You can share it with a link. You can share it with a QR code, which I've used at like conventions. If I'm gonna run a game and I want to just give the players some characters to play, I can just literally hold up my phone and they can scan it, and then they can just open that up on their phone and start playing, which is really, really handy at conventions.
I love that aspect of it. And yeah, I need to finally sit down and either make Miser or Chalk, one of the two, and
Do
get
it.
them properly laid out. And yeah, I'll be sharing. One of the fun parts is even we can share our characters with y'all. So you may see my characters. Jay, you gonna make a
What?
character people can see and play with?
I
Try to
mean,
kill?
we'll do a poll and see if people want somebody. Maybe we'll get one of our classic NPCs in there for people to pull in right
There you
away.
go. Yeah.
Oh god.
And I mean,
Yeah, I'm
I
actually,
I'll shoot it out to Rob and Jay as well. Like, obviously there are some DLCs that have pre-gens, so we're gonna want to end up doing those. But if there's ever any like, hey, we just want to do this kind of like web exclusive pre-gen, always feel welcome to reach out to us, because I love putting together pre-gens, and they're not too hard for us to get into our system. So
I was
fun to
about
do.
to say I put this the entire system in someone's hands recently, but I'll say, yeah, Mike's got his own version of this already. No, this does not mean he's going to start putting together people like Morgan Blackhand. You all calm down before you start typing. I see that several people are typing things. Calm down.
Guys,
Calm down.
I don't know why you all think Mike plays Morgan Blackhand. Mike doesn't play Morgan Blackhand. Morgan Blackhand's a
not.
quest giver.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Johnny's a quest giver. Rogue's a quest giver. Go back and reread the original the 2024 rulebook. You don't play them. You get jobs from them.
Mm-hmm. All right. So
right.
I have two
I would love
things
to
I'd
show
like
off.
to
Oh yeah, go ahead. Before
no, you've already said it. No, you. I'm gonna
right.
go get
I wanted
coffee.
to go. I wanted to go into the role abilities because this stuff is pretty cool.
Do it.
Because
Do
again,
it.
it's a unique thing for Cyberpunk. Instead of like a class-based game where you're kind of gonna have the same kind of sheet but just different abilities in that sheet. Like, the role abilities really make every role feel very unique. And so they all have their own kind of mini sheet inside of the sheet, which you go to role ability, and you've got your sheet here. So here's our family motor pool. Here's what we picked in the builder. So you can see that all broken down.
We've had you
is
freeze.
Great. Oh, I'm frozen.
No, she's good.
She's good? Okay, it's on my end. I'm going to quickly dash and go get an extra cup of
Okay.
coffee. Behave, everyone.
I will continue to explain role abilities because this is super fun. As well, obviously, you can spend... I gave myself a bunch of improvement points here, so I can go ahead... I'm going to level this up, and you can see that that's immediately going to go ahead and give me another vehicle or upgrade, so I can add the vehicle here, or I could click on... Maybe my helicopter needs some upgrades, so let's add an upgrade to my helicopter, which I just clicked on there and opened in here, and I want a flamethrower. That's what I always go for. It's like, I need a flamethrower on my helicopter. I'm sorry, that's a need, not a want. And you can also mark which one's active, and also if it's destroyed, and maybe you need to do some work to fix it up. You also have your rules down here, which you can open up for more details. And, of course, being able to go into a new role is a really important part of the game as well, which you can do. Again, you can do this in the builder, or you can do this right in the sheet by clicking New Role Ability, which will open up your menu here. And I want to show off the exec, because that's one of my favorites. So let's open up the exec here.
Yeah, it's a good one because there's lots of little extra in the exec.
Yes. And then you'll
Exact
end
one
up
is
getting a
what wowed
drop
me
down.
yesterday.
Yeah, I love it. So you'll get a little drop down. So we got Moto here. I can click it and go to teamwork. And you'll see I'm rank 1 right now. So that's just, I get my business wear. But if I go in here, I've got more improvement points to spend. So I'll go ahead and go up to level 3 because that's where we get our first team member. But interestingly, you'll also have, we have company, a company place to live that will end up going directly into your housing. So when you get that level bonus, you'll get that. But if I go to add team member, let's say that this is going to be Sharon. But actually, no, Karan. That's more fun. And I can pick their job, and this is obviously going to give them a lot of the derived statistics that come from that. So I think I'm going to make this my covert operative. I can give them their cover job. So this is maybe let's make this a stylist. I can go ahead and roll for their stats. So again, I could re-roll this if I like, but this is going to generate their stats. And I can roll their starting loyalty. So I'll come in there, and you can see all these other pieces that are granted. Again, this is part of who they are from selecting their job. Then I can click add, and you'll see that basically I have a little small character sheet inside of my character sheet where I can roll all of their skills. I can use and add their cyberware, track their hits and armor, their loyalty, add gear, roll their attacks, even have their grapple line. I can track the grapple line's HP, and I can even add notes to their dossier, which is very important. And I can even terminate them if I want. And of course, if I terminate them, it's going to cost me to get somebody new, and they're going to start at 1 loyalty. So not only can I go ahead and terminate them, and it'll warn me that that's going to happen, but if I do remove them, you'll see that now adding a team member will cost me 200 Euro bucks. And when I go through this and I choose, their job, you'll see that their starting loyalty is 1, because that is the rule there. So teamwork is really fun. All of the role abilities have a unique interaction in this section. So I would recommend, especially now that we've made them all free, go and make a character for every single role and see what they all look like, because it's pretty fun to see the different interactions that you have, especially as you level up in those sections and they continue to adjust and change as you add more. Netrunner's another really cool one, so definitely check that out. We've briefly talked about cyberware. Of course, you've got all the ability to add and install new cyberware in here, also installing, meatware. And you'll have, I showed earlier, you can see the install options right here, so you can do your role. You can set this to buy with cash. And you also have your life path directly in the builder, so you can always reference it really easily, as well as set your reputation. So you can have this change as you play, note any reputation events down, put in your aliases, and you'll also see that this will end up impacting your face down over in your action section. Finally, you do have...
Sorry,
go ahead.
if I can, one thing I noticed that when I was playing with it, there's a switch to flip from positive to negative reputation.
Yes. Exactly. So, you're going to be able to easily flip that, and it will make that adjustment for you.
So the Maelstrom won't be happy if you're your rep all comes from killing Maelstrom guys.
Exactly. Yeah, it's very important that you know who you're talking to before you try to face down with them. And then we also, of course, the similar thing happens with grab, where these roles over here will change when you're actively involved in a grapple. So you'll always have little things like that. The toggles are really fun to play with. So whenever you see them, give them some clicks and see what they do. And then finally, we have a data log where you can type in journal entries. You can then search by word, which I love to use in various games to find NPCs and all of the times that I ever mentioned them, so I can piece things together. And you can also, if you decide I don't want the data log, or there's something else I don't want to see, or I want to adjust it, you can hit the cogwheel and you can go ahead and hide things. You can change the order, so you can decide what you want to see first. And you can similarly do that inside the actions panel by hitting the cogwheel. You can hide various things if you don't want to see certain options. You can easily choose what you want to see in all of those places. But I think that's kind of gives a decent tour of things. Is there anything that we missed that we really want to take a look at?
I think we're good. I mean, in the end, you will find things we haven't talked about because you will have time to go and play with it. And much more time, and you will find bugs. Where do they report bugs, everybody? So that tell them where they report bugs so that they don't just ping people.
So y'all can share bug reports here in this Discord in the Cyberpunk Red CPR Demiplane Nexus discussion. That's the place to discuss the Nexus related things, and I check that. Currently, I'm going to check that every day. I'll go down to every couple days, but obviously, Rob will let us know if there's something important to take a look at in there. And then also in the Demiplane Discord, we are all there all the time, and that's discord.gg/Demiplane. You can let us know in either of those places. We've already been, as we mentioned, we've got this launch update here, which we've already put some patches out today. And we're going to, keep on making sure that we're keeping things up to date as well as putting in new things. So don't hesitate to let us know what you need to see.
We find the Demiplane team work really hard.
Yeah, if any of y'all are mean to him, I will take it out on you here. I'm not joking. Don't you dare abuse the Demiplane team. You all know I'm mean as hell. I will be mean as hell. One thing though, I do want to say, because I know Jay is a little. Oh, Dino, no.
Meredith got
Hit by the Autobot.
modded.
Oh no.
Did she get the link spam?
She got a link spam.
She's spamming links. What I tell her all the
got a lot of
time
security
is
in this
Meredith
Discord.
link spammer McGee.
Send it to me, Meredith. I'll post it. Two things. There are actually two things I'd like you to show, Mellie, unless you're short on time. And the other is something I'd like Jay to talk about, because I know he is about out of time. And I don't think anyone ever noticed the whole time either. Something was happening in the background. But Jay, do you want to tell him? I'll let you say it if you want to.
If you go to our website, this month's DLC is up.
Yeah, it's been there for a while. Yeah, I put it there ages ago.
Let's fucking go!
It's logos. It's 100 logos that you can use in your home game.
Logos!
In your
No
cheat
one
sheets,
noticed.
in your handouts, in your fan art, your Morgan Blackhand, Adam Smasher,
Hey,
child fanfic.
Y'all send us these files because we don't have logos for all of these corporations we have on the Nexus. So
You have every
We'll get them in.
you have every logo.
Oh yeah, you're right. I do. I have the folder. As long as it's in there, then I've got it. Because I was like, hang on, we've got some of these that don't have logos. We can get logos on them.
I will send you. I will send you the file. You should have most of those that are on there. But yes, there's logos. But if you are a keen reader and look forward to, say, the Wireheads podcast, you will find new lore in the PDF that comes with it. But there is a PDF with a list of 100 different groups, organizations, places, brands, and a brief few sentences about them. And then there's a zip file which contains 100 PNG files at 300 DPI, which you can use in your VTT of choice or your home game. Enjoy.
Awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was fun to sneak out. You know, that was the second announcement we had. But I knew that Jay had to split here in like 3 minutes, so I didn't. As he wanted to be here for it, we had to make sure that would happen.
Thank you.
Oh, there's a question there. I'll tell you what. Diamond, reach out to them. I don't want. Okay, there we go. All right, that connection's already happened.
Heck yeah. Meredith will reach out to you, Diamond.
So, the thing I want to see is two specific functions. One was actually asked about earlier, taking melee damage.
Oh,
So if
Rob,
you're hit.
Rob. I also want to say you can also learn about this month's DLC on Night City Sofa. I'm sure they'll do something on it too. Now you can talk.
Okay.
And I don't want to play favorites.
Now, anytime like people want to have us or people we know on, reach out to me, either media@RTalsorian Games or just rob.barefoot@RTalsorian Games. I want to see how many folks want to do it. And we've been a little busy preparing for Gamma, but if people got questions, send them my way. I got you covered.
Yeah.
And right now.
All right.
Oh,
so you were
God.
saying that.
Okay.
So we added just today. So if you go and you've turned on the Edgerunner mission kit rules, which adds kind of the variant for those halving your stopping power. If you pop into here, I just put Edgerunner's mode on. So now if I go and calculate damage, and I go ahead, and you'll see I've got another little toggle here. But let's say this is going to be 11. That's what my SP is at. But if I then click this, it'll have it for me automatically, showing me that all this damage is actually going to be applied because this is halved. And then boom, that's all done for me.
All right, now this is going to be the fun one. Multi-rolls.
Multi-rolls.
She did multi-rolls earlier. She did multi-rolls. She added the exec to the Nomad while you were getting coffee.
Yes, I did.
I'm just going to sit here and be pissed.
And I could even add another one. I got Moto and Teamwork. What other one should we add? What's the third one?
You obviously should become a tech and become the god of fixing cars.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Yes.
Now,
Gonna grab that.
I already know what's going to be asked about, the text maker role. Now, has anything been said about homebrew yet, Mellie?
We haven't talked about homebrew yet. I can't talk about homebrew.
Okay, let them know what's going on. But as you all see how much you can override and tweak, you already pretty much have what you need to do to properly use Moto. Not Moto. Blah. You got me thinking about Nomads. Properly use Maker. But they do have plans currently for homebrew. I'll let you state that, Mellie. I won't go into that one.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have plans for homebrew moving forward. It's something that we're working on across all of our Nexuses. We aren't yet ready to share any dates on that, but it is stuff that we're working actively on. And I'll say, the internal tool systems that we use, our plan isn't to just be like, all right, open that up, because I don't know if y'all know this. I worked at D&D Beyond for quite a time. I was one of the, original folks over there. And, we wanted to get homebrew out really fast. So we opened up the internal tool set, which not only was really hard for most people to use, but also it kind of had to have some weird limitations forced onto it. So we're trying to make sure that we have a system that is really easy for y'all to use, but also really powerful for like a power user to use. Like, it's not going to limit you in what you can do, as well as something that, will really function well within the Nexus system. But like I said, if you've got a maker and you're doing some weapons tech, for example, you can just hop over to your weapon. You can make a lot of changes directly on it, including doing things like, adding extra attachments, adding all of those things. And we're going to continue to add those things into the game so that you have all of the pieces you need to put those together. But do know that, homebrew is absolutely a part of the plan moving forward.
I got to say also, you showed us a little bit of what you can do that's actually covered by what we call the tech upgrades. So if you, for example, tech upgrade your gun to be excellent quality, you can go through and you can just go push your gun to be excellent quality and change its name to tech upgraded gun.
Exactly.
You can add the +3 if it has, add that little extra here or there. So a lot of the tech upgrades you can do by item modification.
Yeah. You can absolutely. So you can do all these things, and if there's something that you're like, I wish, I just need to be able to edit this thing, let us know, because it's possible that that's something we could add into this menu. So let us know. We'll see what we can do, because again, we want to make sure that you have as much of what we can provide that you need before we can get to, the really big meat of a homebrew feature, which is obviously that's a big lift. So it's not coming, tomorrow. It's not coming immediately. It's something that we're actively working towards.
Yeah, just everybody remember, if you've looked at Night City Index, you know how much we've added to the game over the years.
Yeah.
They're starting from zero, and they've already added a lot. Be patient, give them time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got 4 or 5 years of releases. They just started last year. Look, give them some time. One thing I'm actually doing right now, so everyone knows, is I'm going through questions asked. I'm seeing which ones were asked directly, already been answered by the demo itself. And right now, just peeking through here, I saw one that was asked. All right, so actually, an example of what we mean by the demos themselves. Nox asked, will there be any sort of transition with how this functions with the release of the 2077 sourcebook in time? That's already in. Basically, that's already in. Like, the mechanics themselves switching over from, the, for lack of a better term, I'll call it what it is, from red mode to yellow mode. That doesn't mean there's going to be new, but right there, that little switch, that does exactly that already. So that's already in.
It adds the mission kit stuff. There will be more stuff, and obviously when we have a 2077 book, I'm sure Demiplane will be eager to get it available on Demiplane as well.
Yeah, and it's a very, very similar thing of, the approach of like, okay, do we want these things tied to, this toggle, that toggle? There's always abilities for us to say, okay, yeah, you've got your base mode, and then what is the era or the mode or the game version you're adding on top of that? Obviously, within reason, we can't go back several versions of the whole game and get a whole different version of rules in here, but the things that are coming, with obviously Edgerunners already covers a lot of the stuff that's happening there, is like, those are things that we've taken this and we've done a spin on it. Those are the things that we're able to get in there, which is really fun. That was actually one of the things that we thought was actually going to be a post-release feature. We were like, we're going to get Edgerunners out after launch. It'll be like the next thing we do. And then, we set the date for this release and we said, we could probably squeeze this in. So we did. We got it in just kind of under the wire. We got the Edgerunners toggle there on.
It just still stuns us how much you managed to squeeze into this for the release. I was saying to a few folks earlier, it shocked me how much is actually in it. And a lot of the things people are asking for features are already in there. You just got to kind of poke a bit and you will find them. Like, for example, the modification of items, or the overrides, multi-roles. Like, I was happy to find out multi-roles was in today. I did not know multi-roles was in myself until today. And it is a bit bonkers how much is in here.
It really is.
It surprises me.
I was playing with it today thinking, wow, I did not expect this in February. I expected this in August.
Yeah.
Based on how much work needed to be done.
No, I mean, we said Q1. We were like, we're getting it Q1 no matter what. And the team worked their butts off. I'm so proud of everybody on the team who worked on this because, like, I kept looking and I was like, you know what? Even just compared to the last tool set that we did, which would have been, we did Cosmere and Starfinder at Gen Con last year. It was like, we've leveled up again. I feel like every time we do something, we level up. And part of that is, we always have to face new challenges because every game, not only is it its own thing, but they're also all living things. They're always changing and shifting, and they need to be malleable. Even if you have it in a system like this, it still needs to be malleable because it is going to shape itself to the people who are playing it. So these are all pieces of the puzzle and the ethos of when we approach these games. Is we want to create something that is giving you all of the resources and rules and automation that you need without, forcing you into a corner or preventing you from doing things or distracting you at the table. I play every week at the store. I've got my tablet or my phone when I forget to charge my tablet. And I play games, and I love using the Demiplane sheet because it's there when I need it, when I need to reference something or check a roll or whatever. But then the rest of the time, I'm paying attention to the group and I'm role playing. And I kind of love that we're able to strike that balance. And I hope that other people kind of see that balance as well as they start to really play with this in their games.
So, Mellie, I got to ask you, how much longer do I got you?
I mean, technically, I don't have any other meetings this afternoon, so it's just a matter of, am I hanging out here or am I working on the next book?
Yeah, right now, I just went through the backlog of the entire chat. Every single question was answered by the demo. So I'm opening up questions right now. You literally answered every question by just showing it or by me giving the, the leader to it. You really covered everything, and most people were like, is this a feature? Yeah, it's featured. Meredith's got a
that
question.
makes me very happy that, I was able to, it's just these things that hopefully you all expected we were able to deliver. So it's really nice when, like, people are like, yeah, but we need this. And I'm like, no problem. And again, we might not have everything quite yet. I know for one example, there's a wonderful person in the Discord here who ran into an issue with, like, the skill chip cyberware, and we were actually trying to get that in today, but there's a little bit more finagling it needs to do to work properly. So we're going to keep working on that one next week. But when it's things like that, when it's like, oh, this one item could get some really bespoke support, it feels like we're in a really good place.
Mm-hmm. I see someone goes, didn't answer the PDF format one. Yeah, we did. We showed the PDF export.
It. Boom.
We demoed it.
I'll do it again.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take a second for the system to prepare it, since I've made a bunch of changes since then.
Mm-hmm. Pop.
But
there you go.
Form fillable, and you can bring that with you. You can download that. I just realized that I'm partially transparent. That's weird. That is, yeah. Again, this is shout out to Joseph, who's in the chat, who did this, and we'll continue. Again, we're working on getting PDF exports on all of our Nexuses. And then we're going to be going back to all of our Nexuses and looking at the feedback we've gotten to continue to improve what we're offering on each of them to make those even more helpful.
Now, let's see here. We're already starting to get some in here. Meredith has asked the question, Mellie, Rob, and Jay, what surprised you the most in these tools when they launched? Mellie, when they were being built. So I'll let you start off with it, Mellie. Let's hear what you got.
I think it's a tie between teamwork. So this was actually one of the last things that ended up coming into the system. Do I have enough money? Hang on. Yeah, I do. This is one of the last things that ended up coming into the system for QA. I was doing QA like the last 2 or 3 weeks, pretty much nonstop. And so when I finally got to look at it, I did it once and I was like, oh my God, and I was like adding different gear to them, and I added a vehicle to one and then added upgrades to that vehicle in it. And I was like, yeah, we have a whole character sheet inside of your character sheet. And if you're at a higher level, you can have more of them. So that's kind of like the big one, but the small one is just the ammo. I probably spent like a half hour just adding tons of different guns to the sheet, or crossbows, and just like clicking the attack. And of course, if you've got a gun that uses 5 ammunition per shot, it'll take away 5. So like, I just kept playing with it because we don't have it in any of your builders. And I was like, I need all the games that have ammunition now. I want them to have this. This is so fun.
I'm gonna say it too. It was that exact function with teamwork that caught me off guard, because it really isn't what people call a pet role, but it is a pet role, kind of like Lawman. How does Lawman work with this, with the call backup feature?
Yeah,
because
so
I know backup is that. I'm curious now. Oh,
so,
shit.
Yeah, so you can do your call for backup role. You can also, mark rounds to respond here. And then you can also, based on your rank, obviously, you can go ahead and put things in here. And then when you call backup, it'll go ahead and load those in for you.
Oh, it's so
mark
smooth.
Their stopping power, their HP.
Oh, it's so smooth. I love it.
Yeah.
Because that is the biggest pain for me as a GM, because I have 2 lawmen in one of my games. 2 different ranks. Whew.
Oh, yep, that would make it a little bit challenging. But now you can just use this, and boom, it'll do it for you.
Oh god! So
and
I've
the
already
great thing
seen
is that it doesn't even like fully do it for you. You still, do all the steps. You still roll this. That's one step. You still put in. You track your rounds. You pick who you're able to call. You can fill this in. Like it's automatic, but still active, where you're still engaging with the game and the steps the game is having you take. So you still know how to do it. This is just assisting you, which I think is such an important distinction. Like, we don't want to fully take away the action of playing the game. We just want to make it so that you can speed things up and you can focus on the things that you care the most about at the table.
Yeah, because we're not making a video game here, and that's something that I express multiple times. I am not a fan of automation. Yeah, tongue. And it goes back to quite literally the first time I went to Gen Con. I was running Games of Red. I sat down, and after using a couple of VTTs nonstop, I was faced with the fact that I didn't know the game as deeply as I thought it did. And trust me when I say, you don't want to have everything one click. You will screw yourself in the long run. And having just the variation to click where you need, get what you need, I love it. Personally, I love it. Let's see here. I saw a couple up here. All right, this is a decent one here. Is there plans for a GM mode to share content with players for demi playing? You already can do that.
You sure can. I'll even show you right now. So we've got subscriptions, and this is how you get both unlimited characters and the ability to share all of your content. So it's $4.99 a month, or if you do it annually, $3.99 a month. So like, a fancy coffee or less. That'll give you some free accounts. You can have up to 7 characters. You can obviously, if you want, you can make a character, export it to PDF, remove it, and add a new one. We're not just going to say you can only ever make 7 in your whole lifetime. But if you get the subscription, you can have as many as you want. So like on my account, I have like 300 or so. And then you get content sharing, and content sharing lets you share not just your Cyberpunk Red content, but all of your purchase content across all of the Nexuses on Demiplane with up to 24 people. And those are of your choice, so you can either associate it with a group, or you can do individual people. If they don't have an account yet, you can send them an email and it will say, hey, so-and-so wants to share with you all of their content, and they can sign up and immediately be connected to your content as well.
Quick.
Yeah.
Plug what's coming next on Demiplane. What are you working on now? What to be excited for?
Yeah, the big thing is integration, which is.
Didn't you guys just announce another system?
We did, yeah. We've announced we're doing Fallout Nexus.
There you go.
So yeah, we've got Fallout Nexus is the next early access Nexus. So similar to what we did with Cyberpunk, the initial launch will be the digital books and listings with character tools coming later.
Okay.
But actually, I will
Very
say though,
nice.
like, getting to work is so much of, building those life paths, a lot of working with tables. We also work with weapon attachments and weapon customization, which is a lot of similar mechanics in Fallout. So y'all are preparing us really well for going into that game and setting up how those mechanics work, which is really nice. It's kind of what we do with every game, is every time we do something for the first time, it makes the next game easier because now we've done this once. Okay, do the next thing, which is really, really fun. And I love kind of seeing how our process changes and how we level up every time. Like, we don't just sit back and like, oh, we kind of did this all, so just smash it together. It's still about, how do we make this better? How do we make it better and cooler and more perfect for this game?
Here we go with a big one, because I've seen it asked in different stages multiple times. The integration between Demiplane and Roll20. For example, the sheets over there, or integration just to show the dice rolls so the results can be seen over there. So yeah, we've had a lot of questions about the integration between Roll20 and Demiplane. What do you want to hit them with? Because I know it's in the works.
It is in the works. We have announced that our alpha phase for integration is going to be starting at the end of this month. So what that's going to mean is that's going to be introducing our cross-platform sync functionalities. You'll be able to sync your accounts between Roll20 and Demiplane. So what that'll mean is, the next Cyberpunk book we release, y'all have agreed to let us do all the future books we release that already exist on Roll20. So if it's one that exists over there, if you already have it on Roll20, you'll get it on Demiplane when we launch it, just by linking your account, which is pretty darn great. But it also means that we are going to be doing, we're starting with Starfinder, and we're using that as our kind of our alpha test to see like how the connection between Demiplane and Roll20 works. And that will literally be, you can have your Roll20 VTT up, and you can go ahead and you can make your, like, you can get Demiplane in there, make your character in there, link your character in there, pull your token down, and it's the image that you have on your character sheet. You can click the buttons and send rolls into the chat. You can adjust the health, and it will adjust the health on your Demiplane sheet. So all of that is a part of our alpha plan. We're going to then take as many learnings as we can throughout that process, and we're aiming for a beta in Q2, and we're going to be expanding into all of the various games that exist, on Demiplane and Roll20, which obviously includes Cyberpunk, and being able to utilize the Demiplane sheet inside of the VTT experience.
So I'm going to go ahead and say it because I know it's going to get asked, so I'm going to get ahead of it. I'm always that kind of person. When it comes to books that were previously not part of the like for like, that is in discussion right now. If we're able to pull it off, we're going to pull it off. But for right now, it's currently in discussion. So for the core rulebook and Black Chrome, we're in talks. Okay? So that's where I'm going to leave it at right there. Oh boy. Meredith is trolling us. Me and Jay, favorite dinos.
Oh, this is important because this is a question that gets asked in our Demiplane office hours all the time. So we need to establish what y'all's are.
Oh, God. All right. So I'm old enough to have actually seen Jurassic Park when I was a kid in theaters.
Rob, I thought you were going to say I'm old enough to have seen dinosaurs.
No, I'm not there yet. But no, I'm answering the question. They're jumping down my throat.
When Jurassic Park came out? Come on.
No. Yeah, I think I actually was small enough to hide underneath the seat in the theater.
Amazing.
Uh-huh. Velociraptors, they still pop up in my nightmares.
How young you.
That's a good choice.
There you go.
Yeah, Velociraptors still scared me. If they to this day, when they pop up in a dream, it's no longer, oh God, they're going to kill me. It's more like, hi, Joe, want a beer? At this point. People say movies will give your kids nightmares. They will. To my age, they will. But yeah, you can't go wrong with a good old Jurassic Park Velociraptor. But I also like the appropriate Velociraptors, just the little chicken guys, the little murder chickens. They're wonderful. You just want to kick them, because if you don't kick them, you're dead.
You're dead. Yeah. And Jay, how about you?
It's fair. My favorite is Denver, the last dinosaur, which is the only right answer for this question.
Well, if we're gonna talk,
so many people are just staring blankly at their screens.
No, I know Denver.
That's okay.
I'm gonna say Sue the T-Rex too myself. That one has a story behind it.
Sue the T-Rex is a very good choice. Pick an entire species. Yeah. You can pick one specific dinosaur.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Commit,
so there's your answer to that one. What? Look, I play the Isle and I play Path of Titans. Don't get me started on favorite dinosaurs. I'm gonna start listing things off here.
What Rob is saying is he's polydinosaurus.
Excellent. Yes.
I hate you sometimes, Jay. I hate you sometimes. All right. No, I'm not going to start talking dinosaurs. My least favorite dinosaur is Allosaurus because while we were playtesting Fossilized Violence, I got chain stunned. And I was doing great until I got chain stunned. That was last game. I still hate
man, that
thing.
was a tough fight when I played it. When I played Fossilized Violence, James, he managed to get on me. That was tough.
He goes for you. He does not hold back. He wants to murder you. All right, we're hijacking this too.
Go on with the question.
Good. It's
We can't talk more
questions,
Fossilized Violence until we can show off more. James isn't here.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's see here. Trying to see. Due to how thorough you were, Mellie, there's not many questions, really.
I take that as a success. I gotta tell you, for me, running demos is kind of like writing examples, which is one of my favorite things to do. In the few games that I've contributed to, is I just like to write examples. I just want to help people understand things. So whenever it comes to like, oh, there's no questions, either I did a terrible job or a great job.
You did a damn good job. Just like yesterday, you did a crazy job. I'm still going through trying to find a question, but you have pretty much dominated it.
Well,
is there any questions you all feel that I missed?
Yeah, and if other people do have questions, of course, I'll still be checking in on the Discord here in the hashtag CPR-demiplane-nexus-discussion. You can always put things there, and I will keep an eye on that. And obviously the Demiplane Discord, so if you can't think of a question right now, but one comes up later when you start building your character, don't hesitate to ask. We love to answer questions. One thing that I love about my job is just helping people out and answering questions.
You've done a killer job. So in this case, I will say we are right now going into almost the hour-and-a-half mark on this. We can go ahead and call this a wrap, unless there's anything pressing, anything major you would all like to mention. I mean, for those latecomers, yes, the new Cyberpunk Red DLC is out.
We're going to have to look at that.
Who weren't here at the very beginning, instead of it being only 5 roles for free, we have unlocked all 10 roles for free to use in the character creator. So you guys really quite have a lot to nibble on here.
Yeah, if you use the free character creator from Demiplane, you actually get more out of the roles than you would if you picked up an easy mode. So we were very generous there, I think.
100%. Yeah. It is. It's fantastic. And it means that you can really jump in and you can try lots of different things out. So I would say, and that's one of the things that y'all see, because obviously we showed a lot today, but I think that the Demiplane toolset across all of our Nexuses rewards curiosity. It rewards trying things out and like seeing what happens when you click here and do this. So be curious and have fun in exploring the tools and seeing how they work with you and your game, whether you're preparing it or you are playing it.
It is going to be an interesting next week because
also to answer a question that was asked in the Discord. Yeah. Sorry. To answer a question that was asked in the Discord, yes, you can use these loads for your types or for the DLC. So I may have lost you all.
You broke up a little bit there for me. Did he come through clear for y'all?
And it came out as broken up for me as well.
Yeah, Jay, we lost you there. You were very excited. You had a lot of passion. No audio though.
No, I drove past an airport.
Oh, that'd do it.
So I was saying, someone asked, can you use the logos from today's DLC?
Yeah, I think you're being soul killed still.
It's just a home game.
We're losing you.
Okay. That's
You're
okay. I'll
being
tell
nailed.
you later. I'm gonna log off now.
Yeah, this was all information actually that was redacted by somebody's exec somewhere. Got a netrunner to screw with Jay's connection.
No, it's just me. I just like messing with Jay. I'm the one who gets to throw things and then he tries to leak things.
It's perfect. That's probably, you were just like, right click and down bandwidth on Jay.
Getting zapped. Well,
perfect.
We'll go ahead and wrap it up here. I am gonna have a little bit of fun when this all gets good and pretty much said. But remember, when you're making the characters for free, you've never touched it before. You do have access to quite a bit of stuff, but it does not compare to what you actually have if you picked up the core rulebook and Black Chrome and all the little goodies are there. But you do have access to what is available in the free DLC. So if it's in the DLC, you get it for free. Demiplane is being very, very generous in allowing that, because that's a lot of work and a lot of extra stuff and more free stuff on the way. So support them, pick up the stuff.
So we got, I
Give 'em
think
some
right
love.
now we've got Toggle's Temple, Night City
Mm-hmm.
Weather, and Hope Reborn Plus. And I will say that our next full book release, like our full paid book release, we also plan to have another free DLC drop at the same time. We're going to try to keep that up where whenever we release a full book, we'll try to also put a DLC out at the same time. So you get a little treat. You get a little treat on top of everything. So
Probably.
work through it.
I wouldn't
Through
be
all the
surprised if
pieces, one by
Tales
one.
of.
Oh yeah, Black Chrome Plus is in there too. I forgot we had. God.
Oh
there's
yeah,
already
Black Chrome
so much
Plus.
on
That's a
there.
great one.
I wouldn't be
no.
surprised if Tales
There's
of
already
Red Street
so much
stories.
on there that I'm having trouble keeping track. Don't even ask me about keeping track of our DLC myself. It's a nightmare.
There is a lot of it, but also if you go to, go to the library here, you'll be able to see, of course, get your source books. And then if you scroll down, you'll have your DLCs. So these are all freely available, so you should be able to go into any of these as long as you're logged in. And you'll be able to also see, like, what is the reading experience like on Demiplane. And this is available both on your desktop or your mobile device. You'll see tooltips and links throughout. And you'll be able to kind of go through. You've got your, index on the side, and this will be responsive as you change screen size as well. So it's handy, like, if you're running a game and you've got your book kind of to one corner of your screen, it will shape to that size. So it should be convenient for you as you're running or playing games.
Now, this was something brought up. Someone already asked if we're going to have an app with Demiplane. At this time, it is web-based only, but I can go ahead and let you know it's awesome on a phone, and it's really good on tablet. So it's made to be mobile friendly. But right now, no app currently. Is that right? Am I
That
nailing
is
that
correct.
right?
We currently have no plans for an app, but I mean, we will keep an eye on, if that makes sense right now. We have a small but very talented team, so going for an app would prevent us from doing as many things as we're doing. But who knows, as we continue to grow in the future, that may become, an angle we want to explore. But it is absolutely, you can play, like I play on my phone many times when I'm playing games at the store. I also sometimes, in line at the grocery store, I'll be reading a book directly on my phone because, again, it's responsive. So, and if you do notice issues with the responsive, let us know, because those are unintentional. We can definitely work on getting them fixed and improving the experience.
Yeah, I'm about to show how long I've been keeping my eye on the development of, digital tools for tabletop games. I'm about to go old here. So a lot of folks don't even really remember, like, at the launch of D&D Beyond. Yeah, I remember back when it was Curse who launched it, and it was 4 books. And they didn't even have a reader for that until maybe 2 years later. It was a year or two later. It was a long time. And the current tool itself was far, far in. So right now, we're just going to make sure we get everything working as it should on the base site before we start getting all the fancy stuff. Okay? So be patient. Yeah. I will throw things at you all. You know I will. I've already done it before in here.
Yeah, it'll be piece by piece, but it's definitely our goal to continue to add more things here. And especially as we see folks continuing to interact with the tool set, that's, those are the things that we're like, okay, cool. How are people using this? We want to try to make sure we're supporting that. What are the places we need to keep improving? We'll keep on improving that. So we'll always keep an eye out for all of those different things.
But yeah, is there anything else you want to show off or share? Because I think we are right now at the mark of it, and I don't want to keep you too much longer. And
no, I think that's about it.
I want to go make a character right now.
Yeah, go make a character. Everybody go make characters.
I kind of want to go make a character. Ooh.
Yeah, we'll see you all around.
And also, if y'all have questions, don't be afraid to ask them in the proper channels. We have a Demiplane Nexus channel specifically because there is a lot to cover. But if there's anything that y'all are curious about, we will have an FAQ available. And don't be afraid to ask the questions, but do know most questions have been asked right now, at least in the general terms of things. So don't be afraid to search back through that channel itself to see if your question has already been answered. Mellie, you're insane when it comes to... I caught you at what, 10 o'clock last night working? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, that was when I was turning off. I was making those things free, and then once I QA'd, it was all good. I was like, all right, now it's time to go and do some other stuff. I can't say anything.
I was answering questions at midnight.
Yeah, exactly.
We're two of the same kind here.
Are like they're my favorite days. I get so much energy from them. And I just love it. Like, I find it hard actually to go away from the computer, not because I feel like, oh, I have to be here, but because like, oh, I'm having fun. Like, I love introducing new people to the tools and helping people out, 'cause especially when you're on the platform for the first time, being able to have a resource and say, I'm experiencing this, is this normal? And like, hey, I can help you with that is just, it's one of the joys for me, so.
Yeah, I feel your pain and I feel your joy because, like I said, I was up till midnight and I still pop in and try to answer questions and do things. I have been chased off of Discord more times than I can count by my own admin team and by Jay. They're like, no, stop, because I will work 18-hour days if I'm not careful. It's just, it's what you do. When you have something that you enjoy this much in just your job, yeah, you kind of can't stop yourself.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of it. As you see the crap pile on my play desk here, I actually am currently working on something. But all right, and everyone's noticing you're loading a shotgun.
Yeah, I saw somebody say in the Discord that it wasn't working for them. So if that was you, just post in the Nexus discussion, maybe with what weapon you're using, so that I can test that one specifically. But I was able to load this shotgun with the shotgun shells, so I'm happy to help and take a closer look. But that's why I was doing it. It was
Okay,
not
everyone's starting to get
threatening.
scared.
I
They were
was
getting nervous.
troubleshooting. Like, as we were talking about how I don't ever stop, I'm like, let me not ever stop. Let me see if I can find this bug.
Oh, I know the same thing. I was genuinely working this. I was preparing the DLC launch while we were at the start of this meeting. I was like, all right, that's ready. That's good to go. Yeah. No. Guys, we multitask. We can't help it. But all right, I'm going to stop us from rambling because we will keep going with it. Mellie, thank you for coming over and doing this with us. Jay has already had to dip out, but I already know he's very thankful. He was DMing me about it. And I'm going to actually say thank you to the community for not losing your damn minds, because y'all are capable of it. Y'all already are troublemakers. I already have a bat in here for a reason. So I was keeping a close eye. Thank y'all for being so welcoming to the Demiplane team. Them coming over here and answering questions, it takes a load even off of my shoulders and the rest of the team's shoulders. So having them present and having y'all being so kind to them, it means a lot to me. And so I have to straight up say, keep it up. And I hope y'all like what's coming. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, everybody. You've all been fantastic.
Take care, y'all.
Bye.
Be safe. Now, how do I turn this thing off?
So I think if you right-click on the channel bar in this thing, you can have end stage at the top of that.
Ah, there we go. All right, y'all.
Yeah.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, wow. So that was a lot of information. That was a lot of really exciting news. Huh? Did anybody else see that? Excuse me. Did anybody else see Meredith just pop up on stream? Somebody clip that. Somebody clip that. What the fuck? Anyway, on that note, everybody, we're gonna go check out the new DLC here in a bit, but I need to go get my wife. I miss my wife. I'm gonna go get her real quick. So, I'm gonna stop recording here, and of course, I will be talking about the new DLC with all of you once I get back. Those of you guys who might be wondering, well, why aren't you recording that? We're gonna probably talk about it on Wireheads. And why are there people showing up? Huh? What the heck? Okay. All right. Well, that was kind of weird, but okay. All right. Well, folks, I will see you guys in a bit. So, if you're watching on YouTube and you want to catch more of what we're talking about live, come check me out on Twitch. And of course, Wireheads, we definitely will be talking about this. All right. Until then, bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.